wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast, so don't get her pissed. It's Jason, talks like a spaz, and they love to talk about Bigfoot and stacks. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show.
Well, hello and happy Monday. How the heck is everybody here today?
Monday.
Yeah.
Monday.
That's right. Here we go. Back at it. Nothing like a nice rainy Monday to really just launch into a week, huh?
Oh, man, I was driving in here listening to the most depressing music. And it really, you're right. Monday, rain.
Yeah, it's just,
It's pretty sad, Virginia.
Yeah, it's tough to get up and get going today, not gonna lie. Yeah, so a little bit of a funk hanging over us, but nothing like what they're having to deal with in New Orleans and that part of the world. So, you know, we unfortunately know all too well what that is like. In New Orleans, your hometown, Virginia, is getting it again.
I know. My sister and her husband evacuated, so they're at my house right now.
Oh, they are? Okay.
They're there, but a lot of people stayed. I can't believe how many of my friends and family just stayed.
Is there a reason why they stayed? Because, you know, it came in as a Category 4, right, from what I saw?
It did, and it kind of snuck up on everybody.
Okay.
They really, weren't expecting it to be a Cat 4. Mm-hmm. So 3 days out, they were talking about, how it was, still a tropical storm, and then bam, all of a sudden they're like, it's going to be a Cat 4.
Right.
And so I think people really only had 2 days where they were like, oh, wait a minute, I better pay attention to this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think some people just weren't able to get their stuff together. I know in the case of my best friend, she just wasn't able to get her act together. And then by the time she went to go evacuate, all the roads were clogged of people trying to evacuate.
Yeah.
And so she's there right now. They haven't had power since yesterday afternoon, and their roof is leaking into the house.
Oh, wow. Well, that's messy.
Yes.
But, it could be a lot worse, I guess, for that. Does it look like they're going to have any kind of flooding issues? Anything close to where they were with Katrina?
So far, I think all of the major levees in the areas that are highly populated are holding up. I only saw one levee near, I think, Lafitte that had busted, but it's not a densely populated area.
Okay.
So that's good.
Okay.
But the main place where New Orleans gets their power from, it's called Entergy. Entergy yesterday reported catastrophic mechanical failure in how they get power to the city. Everybody's dark. It's not like just rolling blackouts or a little spotty black.
Right.
The entire city is without power.
What happens when that goes down? Do they have some kind of an emergency glow light so you can at least see something going on?
I don't know. I think the city is just dark.
Because I know they have emergency lights, but I mean, how much does that really light up everything if everything's dark?
Unless you have a generator or some alternate little power source of getting juice, I think you're dark.
Well, I'd heard a big part of the problem, too, going on in New Orleans was they were already dealing with a serious COVID outbreak, and your sister would know all about that. And so, think of all the people that, are on ventilators and things like that you might need power for.
She said at the hospital they were hand bagging the patients on the ventilators. So the ventilators have no power to run. Their generator had broke.
Oh, boy.
And they were hand bagging, which means they're doing the compressions by hand to force the oxygen and the air in and out of the people's lungs.
Yeah, that's tough.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so they're going through a lot. So, if you're a praying person, they definitely could use it today. And it was something pretty wicked. Hurricane Ida came in as a Cat 4. That means winds 130 to 156 miles per hour. And I don't know if you heard this, but they said that the storm surge was so intense yesterday that it stopped the flow of the Mississippi River and actually caused it to flow in reverse.
Whoa.
That sounds not right.
That sounds like a biblical kind of
Look, I'm no scientist, but it doesn't sound good.
Yeah, that doesn't. When the Mississippi is going in the wrong direction,
You're right.
something's up.
That sounds like they should be in Revelations.
Yes. That sounds troubling.
There's a ferry that goes back and forth and brings people and commuters back and forth. The ferry broke loose and was just going down the river yesterday, all loose.
With nobody
on it.
Oh,
it
my God.
just broke free, and then the Coast Guard was trying to wrangle it. Like,
did they get it or did it crash?
I think they got it, but I mean, how scary is that?
It's just crazy world. It really is. It's just crazy world. So if we're dealing with just a little bit of rain and it's kind of dreary, I guess we're probably lucky. Oddly enough, too, yesterday was the 16th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. So it is that time of year. And for us, I know there's a couple storms to pay attention to. We've got a Tropical Storm Julian that formed yesterday morning, and they expect that to be short-lived, so I guess that's good news. And then you got Tropical Storm Kate, which is due to emerge today. And then there's something out there brewing that they're just calling 10. I don't know what that means. It's just 10.
You got to watch that, Kate. Trust me.
Watch out for your Kate.
Did you date a Kate?
Oh, I did, Virginia.
She leave a mark?
Oh, boy. She's Category 5.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. So, again, a lot of people to be thinking about today, but obviously the people there in the Gulf definitely could use our prayers today.
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away, because you know we need that Dirt of the Day.
Well, I've watched The Real Housewives of Atlanta for many years, and the breakout star from that one definitely is Nene Leakes. I guess Nene had some sad news over the weekend to share with people that were at her Atlanta lounge. Her husband, who's been battling cancer, I guess, maybe coming to the end of his battle and unfortunately losing his battle. He was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer back in 2018, but then it went into remission, and it looks like now it may be back, and he may be losing his fight. So that is sad stuff.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler's father-in-law got himself arrested here in Florida. I guess he forgot you can't bring a loaded gun into a courthouse. Now, I guess he says it was an innocent mistake, and he accidentally had the gun in his bag and then went to court, and they were like, dude, is that a gun in your bag?
Right.
What the hell are you doing?
So I could see this happening to someone like me, forgetting that you brought it. That's why I don't have a gun, because I would forget things. But I could see that happening.
Totally.
I'm not trying to be, not trying to break the law.
Right. It's happened to people at the airport check-in, too. Like, if you're a person that has a concealed carry permit and you have guns, maybe you have several of them, I could see where you'd have one in your bag, forget you had it in the zipper part, and then try to bring it in the airport and get tackled.
Yes, I can see the whole thing.
I can totally see Jbird getting tackled. And finally here, it was a weird moment. Evan Rachel Wood was on stage performing with Zane Carney from Evan and Zane, and did this whole thing about Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson got on stage with Kanye, and it was kind of weird because Kanye invited DaBaby and Marilyn Manson to come on stage in Chicago.
Okay.
And Evan Rachel Wood is one of the Marilyn Manson accusers that has said that, he did all kinds of horrible stuff to her. And so, yeah, she was saying expletives and calling out his name, and just disgusted at the fact that someone would bring him on stage and glorify him when he's got all of these sick accusations.
You said DaBaby? Who brought them out? DaBaby?
Kanye.
Oh, Kanye. Gotcha. Yeah.
Kanye brought out DaBaby and Marilyn Manson.
Did he have Bill Cosby open for him?
Exactly. Like,
Yeah, just
what is
what's going on?
this? Playing R. Kelly music? Like, what? It's odd to me who Kanye is choosing to align with, but that's what's going on in your Dirt of the Day.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What you think about today, Jbird?
I love being the weird person on the show because people send me the weird, stories, their weird issues, the weird stuff going on in their life. And I was talking to this one guy over the weekend. He's got a doomsday type of shelter built for if it all goes down. And I regret not asking him this question. I didn't talk to him for that long. I wanted to know, when it comes to all those doomsday shelters, How long are you able to stay down there and sustain life when the big bomb hits? You know, if something goes down, how long would that shelter be able to keep you alive?
Kimmy Schmidt stayed down there for years.
There you go.
And that seems real.
Well, I Googled, bomb shelters. There's some really, really cool ones people have hooked up. Obviously, they're rich people, but there's one with this, it looks like an oasis. It's got this unbelievable swimming lake in it. So if it all goes down, they've got that. How long would you go crazy until, if you're in a shelter like that, when do you lose your mind?
I don't know. I think I would need the sunlight. I think after about a week, I'd start climbing the walls.
I mean, I guess I don't get how all that works. The bomb hits. How long do you stay down there until it's okay to come back up? And how would you know?
Well, I think it depends upon what it is that's happened. Because if you're talking about something that has nuclear radioactive material, then that's a different situation. And that can be really tough because places can remain radioactive for a very long time. You still can't go into places like Chernobyl, where they had a nuclear incident.
That's what I'm saying. Let's say the big nuke came and you're down there. How would you even know when to come out to see what was up? Or is that your whole life now is the bomb shelter?
That's how they kept Kimmy Schmidt down there. They told her that you can't go out there. It's terrible. It's horrible. They manipulated her mind and brainwashed her.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
And she thought that she couldn't go out.
Now, on the other end, there's some really low-budget doomsday shelters at a bargain, and they are $6,000, and I don't think the whole morning show could fit in this thing.
Yeah, I think when you're actually having to use your shelter, you're probably very angry and fast if you skimped on the costs.
Definitely.
It's not the place to cut corners.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to do it, you might as well go big.
Right. Might as well go big.
In case the big one happens.
Yes. So who knows? Virginia, what do you got on your mind today?
I have this habit, I keep this calendar and it is like my Bible. It's like a book. It's an old-fashioned way. I don't do it on my phone.
Yeah.
But I write everything in this book, and then this is basically, if it's not in the book, it's not happening. So I guess I was drinking and having cocktails a couple weeks ago.
Oh, boy. Okay.
And I wrote in the book that I'm going to Hard Rock Casino and Hotel this coming weekend, but I don't remember writing it. I don't remember who I made the plans with, and I don't know if I put did I make a hotel reservation? How am I getting down there? But sure enough, it's in the book. So
this Saturday,
this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Sounds like fun.
It sounds great, but I have no idea who I'm going with. This is a problem when you drink and calendar.
Right.
Things can be a little tricky.
don't drink and buy things on the internet. You forget that you buy them. You're like, oh my gosh, that's right. I bought that baby alien statue with a rattler in its hand. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I might be going to Hard Rock this weekend, and I might not. If anybody knows who I made those plans with, please let me know.
Okay.
Put it on social media. It may help, believe it or not.
Who am I going with? I just need to know.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing that I've tried to improve upon is remembering people's names. And I thought this is kind of interesting because if you struggle with it, it really is just what they say, lack of effort. They say that people who can't remember names don't really have issues with memory. They just have issues with effort. They say that you can remember names 99% of the time with a minimal amount of effort and using some of these techniques, which I've tried to do. I'm not perfect. I definitely have room to improve, but I'm better.
I don't know if it's that you don't want any effort. I think sometimes people get in a social situation and it's kind of happening quick and your mind's, it's hard to remember sometimes.
Well, what they're saying is that the effort meaning put together these 4 steps and really commit yourself to saying, okay, I know I'm bad with names. I can be better. And here's 4 things I can do to make me better. 1, say their name back to them. So make sure that it really imprints and that you get it straight because sometimes you mishear or it's just a fleeting thing. So you really need to kind of like step in and try to get their name. Make associations with their name. which is something to do.
I mean, Virginia is easy. Virginia, Virginia. All right, I think we kind of make a connection.
Yeah,
it's
right.
pretty easy.
Exactly. That actually is a great association to remember that. Say their name slowly and intentionally as you part ways. It'll help your brain, again, make that association and making sure that you got the name. So here, if you listen back to it, you say their name back to them. You've said it once. You say it again before you break away. And if you do forget, apologize and ask again. Apparently, that's not deemed to be rude. If you just didn't get it, be like, I'm sorry, what was your name again before you break off the conversation? So in that conversation itself, you really commit yourself to remembering and knowing their name. And then as you walk away, you might want to write it down if you think you'll run into them again.
Okay, say it back to them slow. Nice to meet you, Kevin.
That's it. That's the way to do it.
Creepy.
It is creepy. I was going to say Virginia, but I thought that might have been creepier.
Yeah. So again, it really is kind of going through those 4 steps intentionally. Like I had one the other day. My son Cannon, he had a friend that we drove home from school, and he said that his name was KJ. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I thought Buckeye player. There was KJ Hill. And then when I saw him on Friday, I'm like, hey, what's going on? And I thought Buckeye player, and I called him CJ. He's like, it's actually KJ. And I'm like, oh, I forgot. CJ is the Buckeyes' new quarterback, and I thought Buckeye player, and I called him CJ and not KJ. So I made the association, but then I got mixed up because there's
it was
a
too
KJ,
broad.
there's a KJ and a CJ Buckeye player, and so yeah, I'm like, okay, but now I've got it locked in. It's KJ.
I am just like you. I am terrible at remembering names.
Yeah.
Very, very bad. So
Yeah.
I'm going to try your little tricks
I'm
here.
still bad. I'm better than I was. If you're like, oh boy, Kevin's terrible at names. I actually used to be worse, and I still have a lot of room to improve.
I'm going to try all 4 tricks or tips you gave me, but I forgot 3 of them.
Say their name back to them, make associations, say the name slowly as you part ways, and if you do forget, apologize and ask again. They say if you put forward the effort, that we all can be at least a lot better when it comes to remembering names. This is an etiquette question. If you've got a babysitter coming into your house and you just got new security cameras, do you need to alert the babysitter? The email we got basically just said that they've installed the cameras throughout their house since the last time we had our babysitter over. Now, it was nothing that she did. She's great, and we vetted her thoroughly. And my wife is telling me that she thinks it's unethical to not tell her, and I don't think we really need to say a word. I mean, you know, what's the point of having security cameras? I mean, you want to see and make sure everything's right in your house, so... You know, I mean, shouldn't everybody pretty much just assume it? If you're doing everything on the up and up, then it shouldn't be anything that you should need to know about.
Nowadays, I feel like everybody should assume they're being recorded.
Even when you're out in the woods and you think nothing
Right.
is around you, assume you're being recorded.
And I think that's his argument to his wife, saying, you know, look, I mean, if she's not doing anything squirrely, there's no big deal. And if she was going to do something squirrely, like, let's not alert her to the fact that there are cameras and could find her, because if she is squirrely and not good, it'd be nice to look at a camera and be able to determine that and then find somebody else.
So many people are getting busted doing stuff. They don't realize that there are cameras everywhere. It takes 2 seconds to get you on camera.
Yeah, I guess the wife just feels like it's kind of creepy and stalkerish, and she just has a weird vibe about that. Just feeling like, you know, herself, she would want to know if she were in a place that had cameras, and she thinks that is a right for people to know.
But on the same token, if you tell her there's cameras, she's going to stop the weirdness. She's not going to do anything
Right.
squirrely. And so why have the cameras then?
Yes.
Well, sometimes people have cameras to let people know, hey, this place is being filmed. Get the heck out of here. You want nothing, just to avoid a problem.
Yeah, and I see that in a business and out in public. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of weird in your own home, though, isn't it, to have signs up as people are in there? And then let's say it's not even just a babysitter. Let's say you're having a barbecue. Do you have to let people know, hey, by the way, we've got cameras? Or is it just assumed that most homes have security cameras? Now, I've got one at my front door and entrances and things like that. I got one in my house. I don't tell anybody. I don't feel like I need to.
So when I have the Kevin Ralston meetings with you, I'm being recorded with everything I say.
I got a camera right on your face. I got a Jbird file, Virginia. I intentionally leave the room, and then I just go in the other room and watch to see what he does. Oh, it gets weird. Like the stuff he does when I walk out.
He's so bizarre.
Oh, yeah. I got a whole file of stuff.
Man, Ralston's been recording me.
Oh, yeah. You've been on a stage. You didn't even realize realize it. Yeah, when I'm going to go poo again. You're like, wow.
I stand by everything I've done.
Suits, would you put up a poll for the people in the chat room? Because I'm just kind of curious here, because this is an etiquette question, and it could apply to a lot of us. If you do have security cameras inside your house, do you need to let a sitter know? And it could be a babysitter, it could be a pet sitter, it could be anybody that's coming over, even a maid. Should you let if you have a house cleaner, should they know that you have cameras and could be watching them? Or the husband's like, well, then what's the point of the cameras? Now, what's kind of interesting is, are there any legalities on this? Somebody said, technically, if you want to use any recording in a court case, say you caught somebody stealing from your house, or even someone's behavior in the state of Florida, you have to let them know that you're recording, whether verbally or posted somewhere. My divorce lawyer explained that to me when I needed to record what my ex was saying and doing when exchanging our kids.
So I think that's why people also have those little, I think you can have a little sticker on your window somewhere, and I think that's all you need. You just need something posted to let you know you're being recorded.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying, I just have it posted somewhere. A lot of times you get a sticker with that by the front door so they're notified without making it weird. And apparently that might take care of you legally as well.
Just make it real small and kind of hide it so they, you're covered that you got it up there, but they can't really see it.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said, I don't feel like you should have to let anybody know you have cameras. I had somebody take pain medicine from when my son had nose surgery, and I wish I knew who took them, so I can watch them in the future.
What about bathroom? That's kind of, you're going number 2.
I don't think you're allowed to record people in the bathroom.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that seems like it's a violation.
I think that's a different set of law.
Yeah, that just doesn't feel right. And,
No.
and that's what's weird. And some people are calling out this dad saying, he just wants to be creepy and hope that the babysitter takes her clothes off.
Of course, someone's
We
calling
don't
him.
know that he's not trying to be creepy. You don't know him.
You're right. We don't know,
And
Virginia.
maybe his wife does know him, and she's like, you're weirding me out.
Do you need to have a sticker if you got a Ring doorbell thingy?
The Ring doorbell is, it's a thing, and it says Ring. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Okay, so it's got it's letting you know.
Yeah,
you're being
it says
recorded.
Ring on it. I mean,
Yeah.
if you don't understand you're being recorded by Ring, then you're just kind of out of touch with life.
Those Ring doorbells, man, those things are really cool, and it freaks people out because some people don't know how they work, and you can talk out of it.
Yeah, you
It's
can
scary.
you can
Yeah,
actually
right.
talk to people, and you're not even
Yeah.
home.
It's weird.
But you can make them think you're home. Oh, I'm in the shower.
They think no one's home. You can just start growling at them or start hissing at them.
To me, I just think in life, you just need to always behave like you are being recorded and assume that.
You're right.
And
Yeah.
just conduct yourself thinking you're always going to be on camera and it's going to wind up on YouTube.
And you'd be so surprised now, even like homes that aren't that fancy
Yeah.
have full-on security
It's very
systems
affordable now,
with
yeah.
camera. It's very, very affordable to just get it yourself.
Yep, absolutely. Well, the poll that we've got right now in the KVJ TV chat room, do you need to let a sitter know about your cameras? 64% say no. 37% said yes.
I am loving this poll thingy in the chat room. That is so cool looking.
Yeah, it is. Well, you know what? It's not. You're not counting comments now. You've got an actual poll. You can see how many people voted. You can see where it stands. And so, if you've ever got an issue and you just want to get a random, very unscientific, answer to your question, like this couple did, 64%, are going to side with him, and the others are going to side with her. So there you go. You can always send it to us. Mail at kvjshow.com. Well, there are some weird things going on with Jbird's house. Lots of interesting stories that we are getting. And you said that your neighbor was just talking about how you guys had a murderer on your street.
What?
Yeah, man. My boy Matt, your girlfriend's husband.
Yeah, I love Matt.
He got a bunch of information. I guess the rumors are raging down our street right now. And I guess somebody on our street, not far from both of our houses, committed a murder and got arrested and is in jail.
Murder?
No, it didn't happen on our street, but the murderer lived on our street.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Word is he was looking for his next victim.
It made me think, how common do you think that is, where you've got a murderer living on your street? Is that such a rare...
Currently?
Even on your street, you have a street, as in the history of you living there, has there ever been a murderer living on your street?
If anyone on my street murdered, it was 60 years ago because there's no one young enough
They're not spry enough
Yeah.
to commit the act.
Right. If they murdered like in the 70s, I'm not so worried about it today.
I mean, it's such a low percentage to have somebody on your street.
Yeah, because you can look at the national averages and then just figure that out. So it is a very low percentile. And it also depends upon where you live.
Then he also found out this information, but he wouldn't get, the guy didn't give him all the information. He said, there was major drama that has happened at my house, but he didn't give details. And this is before I lived there. And the other thing that I thought was odd, remember when I was talking to my neighbor who lives behind me, the old sweet woman who
The fence lady.
Yes, I want to give her a big hug. She said something that stuck out to me that I thought was weird.
Okay.
And I didn't think anything of it. And then my neighbor had said, yeah, people said some weird stuff went down at your place. She said my place has had a lot of different people live there. She goes, I've been here for 55 years, and there's always just been, kind of like this revolving door of people living there. Why can't I get answers? What was the reason, and what weird stuff went down? I know.
It is. Yeah,
It's intriguing.
Well, the older the home is that you have, there's a good chance that there's something odd that has gone down in the history of that home.
Yeah, I think my house was built in the early 60s. So just out of average, something odd had to have happened, right?
There's a good chance. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to find out, but he goes, yeah, man, one of our neighbors was telling me about your house and how stuff went down there, but didn't get details. I'll go, well, no details. He goes, no, man, he wouldn't give me details.
Yeah.
It's too painful to talk about.
And I don't think this guy's messing around, because I don't see why he would.
You're already talking about other ghost activity. Is this activity that followed you as it tends to do from place to place, or do you have a whole new set of ghostly things because of the weird things that have been going on in your house before you moved in?
Well, he said it was weird things that were going on. So I go, well, crazy. I think the word was crazy.
Okay.
And I go, well, did he mean crazy? As in, we got a pool party and there's a crazy woo vibe, or crazy as in murder, poltergeist.
Right.
I don't know. Something violent.
Yeah.
All of the above.
Could be.
A violent ghost poltergeist.
Well, then I think I weirded out my real estate agent, because I found this out kind of late.
Yeah.
I text him with this long text message about, Tim, the guy who you...
It's a little late to have buyer's remorse.
Well, I just go, hey, man, is there any way I can find out if there was murders or something odd happened at my house? There's rumors on my street. People are saying things.
That'd be a cool website if you really could go, and it would easily you pull up your address real fast and you could see anything that happened. I don't know if there's a site like that, but it'd be cool to have.
He didn't ever answer me back, because I think I weirded him out.
Yeah.
But wouldn't he have told me that in the beginning, or does real estate people
No, I don't think
know?
so. I don't think either one they know, or two, I'm not sure they necessarily have to divulge all the weird things that have gone on. They don't have to give that kind of stuff.
Certain states, I think, have to if there was a murder, but I don't know how all that works. Does the person buying the house have to ask about it first? I don't know how it works.
And I think a lot of times it'd just be like, I don't know. I can tell you what the house is. I can tell you the square feet, and
But if
do you
there,
want it or not?
If there was a murder, it's the perfect place for you, because you love murder.
Well, Heather
figure.
Marie in the chat room goes, Bert always manages to be near weird.
Yes.
Well, he places himself in the center of weird.
He's a magnet of weird.
A lot of us run away from it. Jbird runs to it.
Look, I didn't hate that these stories are going around.
Yes.
I don't hate this.
Right. Pretty crazy stuff. And the thing that is interesting, you're talking about the murder on your street. What is always kind of crazy is here in South Florida, which, already just excels in the weird. But how many stories have you seen where there's like an old mafia guy that, moved down here from New York? Or, for instance, you had the clown murder in Wellington.
Yeah.
I mean, how odd is that? You're like going, oh my goodness, she's living in a regular, old neighborhood that, you wouldn't think of, and just Wellington.
There's a ton of cold case files here in South Florida. Bodies found. They have no idea what happened to them. Cold face goes real cold, Virginia.
Cold face or cold case?
Cold case. Did I say cold face?
You said cold face.
I was talking about murder. I'm excited.
Your AC works great. You got a cold face and it's a cold case.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if anybody has a website they can share on a place to go to maybe do a quick reference on your address, that'd be kind of a fun thing to pull up and see if we've got any kind of weird things that have ever happened in our house. I don't think mine because I've been in my house for 20 plus years, and it was built in '87, so there wasn't a lot of time between that.
And the other thing I was thinking, let's say it wasn't a murder, but it was some other weird, bizarre thing that went down at my house. That might not be listed anywhere. That might just be stories from the street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And sometimes those neighbor stories from the street are better. They have more information than any kind of place you could go to look.
They're in the front lines.
They know the secrets.
Okay.
We're going to get answers, y'all.
Yeah.
And again, these are just rumors. They're raging on the street. This is all stuff I'm getting back, intel.
You don't know. Maybe they're messing with you on top of it. You don't know.
Now, my neighbor Matt wouldn't mess with me.
Okay.
He's my boy.
Okay. Somebody said the only way I can think of is to look up any issue with your house is to find the previous owner's name, search the clerk of court documents to see if anything pops up there.
Like murder.
Like murder.
I feel like you're at least 42% murder hopeful.
Oh, he definitely is.
That's
he
not,
hopes he
no.
hopes it was
get
a
outta
slaughterhouse
here.
in there.
Oh, you hope it was
Weird
carnage.
things, people hanging by their toes and things like that. Just a big like the movie Saw. That's what he's hoping.
It's not completely accurate.
Yeah,
You
it's exactly what he wants.
are murder hopeful.
Yeah. That's the weird thing about it. You know, most people, they don't tell people moving in because they're like going, oh, if they found out this, 10 people were murdered in this home, there's no way it's going to sell. Jbird would be the first person to be like, I'm buying.
He's like, there's people have been murdered. I'll pay extra.
Multiple murders? Okay. I'll pay double.
You know my goal? I'm trying to get ghost on camera, dog.
Yeah, and Heather said, in Florida, they don't have to tell you crap about murder or disease in the house.
Disease? What does that
I don't know
mean?
what that means either.
What, like a TB
Disease?
clinic or something?
What? Disease? I don't know. That's terrifying, though.
What does that mean? Your house
Yeah.
was diseased. That I don't like.
Disease? What? It's just interesting because you're right. Jbird is drawn to weird. And some people just kind of have that knack. We were talking about, Joe Ponton's one of our big KVJ Nationers. And Jbird's talking about that. And I remember he texted me when this happened. He found somebody dead on the beach in Jupiter. And
He texted you when he found a dead body?
yeah, he did.
You didn't know this?
Yeah,
No.
he texted me. It's like, because he goes out, he loves to see turtles and all that stuff and goes out on the beach. And yeah, he's like, wow. He's like, because he always sends me sea turtle photos and stuff like that. I love seeing it. It's like almost I'm there vicariously. He's like, well, today I found a dead body. I was like, wow.
This was so bizarre. Joe Ponton, a KVJ Nationer, he comes over to my house on Saturday, okay?
Okay.
I'm in the backyard, and then my neighbor, Matt, walks out.
Yeah.
And we're all kind of shooting the breeze, and I just randomly ask Matt what he's doing later on in the day. Matt goes, I got to go to a funeral. I go, oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that. And then Joe Ponton goes, oh, yeah, you're going to Stu's funeral. And he goes, yeah. I go, oh, well, you know him too. He goes, no, I don't know who this guy was. He goes, I'm the guy that found him and called the police.
Wait, Matt's going to the funeral and Joe found the body?
And
Yeah.
I brought it up, and all this is being talked about in my backyard. And I was this is after I find out about my house having weird things going on.
Yeah, like I said, it draws itself to you.
Do we know Stu?
I don't. Here's all I know, and I want to make sure I'm very, very respectful
Yes.
because, from what I
He had
understand,
a lot of friends.
very beloved in the community. Many people love this guy, and
Yeah.
my heart, and I'm sending nothing but great wishes to his family because I don't want to be disrespectful. But this is a real story that happened. and
Yeah.
it blew my mind because it happened right in my backyard. Talking about that.
Yeah. But
and,
this
and
is
Joe
the-
didn't know him.
Yeah, and this is the third dead body Joe Ponton's found in his life.
Joe Ponton has found as a kid.
He told us the story about the person he found in Davie. That was kind of a mob hit. He found that woman that was on the lawn chair that they'd thrown in the canal.
Yes, I remember
Yeah.
that.
He found that as a kid.
And then another story was, it wasn't that he found the dead body. A guy had a heart attack right in front of him, a random dude, and Joe tried to save his life and give him CPR, and the guy died right in front of Joe. So, I mean, technically a dead body.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe's not good at CPR.
No,
Yeah.
then this on last week or whenever this happened.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It just was weird
Something
how
about
he
it.
didn't know him, and then my neighbor knew him. It was odd.
Right,
But
yeah.
I want to send nothing but, the warm wishes to his family,
Absolutely,
because that's
yeah.
rough, and I'm
That
sorry
is,
to hear that
yeah,
sad news.
That is very sad story, but just odd things and how Some people, isn't it kind of odd that maybe we all have some kind of weird internal magnet that we're drawn to things? I don't know if you ever feel that, but it's like if something's going to happen, maybe it's a stray cat. I don't know. Like, I know as a kid growing up, anytime there was a stray dog, they just seemed to know and they would find me, and I would bring all these strays home. And my parents, like, they couldn't say no, so we had, like a kennel growing up.
I wonder if it's hereditary. I get weird from my father, Randy, the juicy daddy. He's always attracted weird. And do you give that to your son? Does that,
maybe a weird attribute that, I don't know.
like kind of how
because it's more of a cosmic type thing.
you know how
You have a tendency.
Yeah, my mom gave me her jacked up feet. Did my dad give me the gene of weird?
Yeah.
It would appear so.
Weird magnet.
We've seen it happen too many times.
Well, you've seen it in real time.
All the time.
Yeah. So some interesting stuff. Some celebrities having a birthday today include BB Rexa turning 32 years old. Cameron Diaz is 49 today. And Warren Buffett is 91 years old today. Also got KVJ Nationer's first baby birthday. This is Logan, a.k.a. Logie Wonkanobi. Turning 1 from the Pizzle. Love you guys. Listen every single morning. I mean the world to hear you guys give him the birthday chant. Daryl sent that in. You can see that for Logan. Logan. Also, birthday shout out to my little girl Cammie, who turns 10 today. Happy birthday, Booger, from Mom and Dad.
Aww.
Also, a birthday shout out to my amazing wife for doing an amazing job bringing our new baby boy into the world on Saturday. Very cool. Happy day of birth, Cooper Barry Kunkel. Love you so much, Christina, from your husband, Steven. And you can see the adorable baby photo there on KVJ TV.
Wow, that is a great photo.
What a beautiful baby.
That's amazing. That's very cool.
That baby does not look like it was delivered normally. There's no squished head. That baby is pretty.
It's a beautiful
Came out
baby.
photo ready, didn't it?
It's a perfect baby.
Came out photo ready right there. That's nice. All right, think fast here. It is Monday. It's already started off a rainy Monday, which is like, oh, man, how do you get that going? But you're going to have to here. You guys start thinking fast. We got Virginia, Jbird, and Denny's here.
Uh-oh.
None of us known for our fast think time.
Jesus, that bode well for me and Denny's. Virginia's got her best witch dress on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. She's not messing around.
It's getting into Halloween season. You're going to find a black dress in daily rotation.
Oh, this is your time.
This is my time.
Yeah, that's when she shines. Okay, here we go. I've got a topic here for you. Whoever can come up with a sensible answer the fastest is going to get the point here. First up, think fast. A store at a major mall that starts with the letter A.
Abercrombie.
Abercrombie.
Oh.
A little late.
We all yelled the same one.
Okay.
So many syllables in that word.
Yeah, we picked all.
Yeah, okay. There's a lot of them, actually. Apple,
Oh, yeah.
American Eagle.
We blew it. We blew it.
How do you say that one? Aeropostale? How does he say that name?
Aeropostale.
Yeah. Or Apostoli.
It's Aeropostale. My sister used to love that place. Aeropostale.
Aeropostale?
Aeropostale.
Really?
You'll get some clown. Jbird saying it wrong. Well,
Yeah.
whatever.
We're used to getting those emails.
Okay, Denny's first point here. Think fast.
Ooh.
Something you can smell starting with the letter C.
Cooking.
Cooking, you said, Jbird?
Yes.
Okay, I think he's in first. Say Suits. Okay. Yeah, we're going to give it to you.
Oh. Look out, witch.
All right, next up here. Think fast. A TV show starting with the letter F.
Frasier.
Friends.
Oh, Virginia got Fraser.
Dang it. I
Frasier.
thought Kevin said S at first. It messed me up.
Okay, very nice. Virginia gets on the board, and we're all tied at 1. Here at Think Fast. Why are you?
Did you pull your shoulder?
I pulled my neck muscle trying to play this game.
How do you get hurt so bad sitting down?
Because I'm just out of it. I'm just out of shape. I've really let myself go.
Okay, next up. Think fast. A type of juice that starts with the letter G.
Grapefruit.
Was Denny's in there first, or Suits is saying Denny's in there first? Just grapefruit.
Yells so loud.
I'm sorry. I'll dial. Maybe I should back up from the microphone.
Can you go in the hall?
Wow. Very hurtful.
Okay, Denny's has got the lead here, 2-1. All right, next up, an appetizer that starts with the letter M. What'd you say, Jbird?
Mozzarella sticks.
That was that? It came out? Okay, all right.
What'd you say, Virginia?
Mugu Gai Pan.
It's so hard to say.
Mugu Gai Pan.
That's too
I was going to say, that's real tough.
I had Chinese yesterday.
Oh, so
okay.
jealous.
It's topical.
Okay, 2 for Denny's, 2 Jbird, Virginia with 1. Virginia, you have to get this one to stay in the game.
Damn it.
Okay. It is an Olympic sport that starts with the letter S.
Swimming.
Oh, Denny's!
Oh, Big D.
Eliminating vicious V.
Fly away on your broom. Be gone, witch.
Wow. Okay. All right. And Denny's, you get this one,
Oh.
you win.
The hippies.
Okay, it's a Disney movie starting with the letter L.
Lightning.
Oh.
Oh, Bird ties it up at 3 apiece. Next point wins.
Ooh, you want to Thelma and Louise this thing?
Let's do it.
All right.
Okay, here we go. All right. An animal that starts with the letter P.
Panda.
Oh! Denny's a panda for the win.
Nice job.
Whoa!
Nice.
How about that? Very nice, Denny.
Tired.
Yeah.
Exhausted over here.
Yeah, that was tough. Get you going, get the juices flowing though,
It
doesn't
does.
it?
It does.
On a Monday, kind of get you all ready to go. All right, very nice. Coming up here, we've got some call 'em outs. That's going to be happening. Who do you need to call out here today, and for what? 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. Also, Virginia, I know you were talking to your sister. Your sister came to stay with you. That Hurricane Ida, I was watching the news today, just try to get some updates on what's going on with that. That is a nasty storm that just got really intense, really fast, and then came ashore as a Cat 4. I saw sustained winds at one point, about 150. There was getting some gusts at least of that.
It was crazy. And it just kind of brewed up quick on everybody.
Yeah.
How is sister?
She's good. She's just a little shook because, we had a good amount of family and friends that chose to stay in Louisiana and not evacuate, and they're riding out the storm. And there was catastrophic mechanical failure with how New Orleans gets its power. And so Entergy, the company, sent out a message yesterday that the entire city was without power.
Wow.
Over 1 million people, no power.
That's crazy.
It's just crazy, and they don't know when it's going to come back.
Yeah.
I mean, what does go down if you have a whole entire area? When they say it goes dark like that, that means there's no lights on, no emergency lights on?
The only thing that is on is anything that has its own power source or generator run.
Yeah.
The Weather Channel, they stayed on, and some of the local news stayed on. But one of the stations, WDSU,
Yeah.
they had their roof blow off.
No way.
So,
Wow.
yeah, they don't have a roof. So they're not going to be in studio
Yeah.
today.
Was that during the broadcast?
I don't know if it was live on the air when it happened or not, but the roof was gone.
Wow.
Oh, the news so wanted
Yeah.
that on. They wanted that on TV.
Yeah. Well, yesterday was the 16th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, so here they are 16 years later, and I hope they don't have a situation like that, because what a mess Hurricane Katrina was 16 years ago.
I mean, there was houses collapsing. There's
Yeah.
trees falling on houses. I saw house fires. It's bad.
They were showing that there are still some places you can still see from 16 years ago
Totally.
where Hurricane Katrina had come in, and that's still not even recovered 16 years later.
It's
which
true.
is insane. So, thoughts and prayers going out to people in New Orleans and the Gulf area there that had to deal with that. Now, the hurricane itself, it weakened down to a Category 3 about 6 p.m. local time last night, 6 hours after landfall, but 6 hours it was.
It was still a Cat 3.
Yeah.
It's as of this morning now, it's a tropical storm, and it's moving up Louisiana into parts of northern areas like Mississippi's getting hit too. And luckily now it's just a tropical storm, though.
Yeah, but it really, I think that's the one thing that is shocking, and that's you can learn something from this storm here in South Florida, that you may not get the kind of evacuation times you used to get. You may have to start making your decisions faster, because you were saying that you had a friend that they just, didn't act immediately because they didn't think it was going to be as bad as it turned out to be. And then when they found out it was going to be that, then it was almost too late and the roads were jammed up.
And now they are so sad that they stayed because they have no power and their roof is leaking. And it's just, oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. One problem is compounded by another.
Yeah, Saturday morning it was a Cat 1, 85 mile an hour winds.
It's crazy.
Less than 24 hours later, they're 65 miles an hour stronger and close to a Category 5. So a note to people here in South Florida that, we may wind up seeing something similar, unfortunately, if we get hit. And you were saying, too, with the hospitals, they're dealing with COVID as well there.
Yeah, the hospitals that have no power. One of them in particular went to their backup generator, and the generator didn't work. So you have a hospital full of COVID patients, some of them on a ventilator, and now those ventilators don't have power. They were hand bagging and compressions and doing the air with their hands for those patients. And that's not infinite. You can't do that forever.
No, you're right. And unfortunately, I know all too well about all that stuff. Been having a lot of those conversations with my mom in the hospital with COVID. So I will let you know there is an update on my mom's situation with her fight against COVID, and I will let you know the latest on that coming up next. It was a couple of weeks ago at least that my mom got COVID. She went to the hospital after having it for possibly even 3 weeks. I don't know, because she went through a Z-Pack in that time. She asked her doctor for some cough medicine, and then finally, when the breathing was too tough, she finally realized that she needed to go to the hospital, and she did. They took her in an EMS, and she had been there just about a week, and it was an up and down with her battling COVID. As it is, she already was, like I said, tiptoeing on the doorstep of diabetes. She's got the chronic bronchitis just like I do. So that was an issue as well. And it would be up and down. I told you about the conversation that I had. I talked to her on Monday. She called me up. I couldn't even believe it. I'm like, this is, a call from my mom. And she sounded like a woman that really couldn't catch her breath. And she told me that she was scared. She was really worried, and she was kind of starting to panic a little bit. And I just gave her basically a 5-minute pep talk, and I said things and everything that I could conjure up in my mind that would be comforting to her and encouraging her to fight. Thank you so much to all the people who actually sent stuff that I was taking a lot of lines that people had sent, like one person who said, I got right on death's doorstep with COVID. And I will tell you, Kevin, it is as much a mental battle as it is a physical battle. And I reminded Mom that. I said, hey, you got to keep telling yourself to keep breathing. But I said, mentally, you got to stay strong. You got to stay positive. And, gave her just some advice on trying to stay positive. Read her some scripture verses and things like that. It was tough, though, because it was up, down. You would get a good report. Oh, Mom had a good night. And then the next day, you would be like, oh, unfortunately, she didn't have a good night. And it's back in the other direction. And then over the weekend, we just got the report that, she didn't have a good night, and it just really started to trend down in that. And, something that her and my father had talked about before was they never wanted to have a situation where they were kept alive by machines. And unfortunately, late last week, they had to put my mom on the ventilator, and they just say once that happens for a woman with her age
and morbidities.
Yes.
However you say it.
Comorbidities.
She's just got extenuating medical circumstances that make it really tricky.
Yeah, she absolutely did. The odds were not in her favor. And then we got word yesterday morning that, again, she had a bad night and they had aggressively tried to treat her COVID. And so Dad made the decision that it was time to let Mom go. And so he went and he sat with her for a good 30 minutes and, just kept it very positive and said, a lot of what I had said too, that, hey, we're all doing great. We're all going to be fine. You're going to be fine. One day we're all going to be back together again. And, just said how much he loved her Said he even tried to sing to her, and he said that probably had to be really tough to go through. My dad tried to keep a good sense of humor all the way through it. But then eventually they realized they needed to turn the machine off, and my mom passed yesterday. They expected it was going to take her 30 minutes after they turned off the machine. It only took her 10 minutes to expire, so she clearly was just alive because of the ventilator.
She was fighting it.
She was.
It just ravaged her.
It did. It is wicked. It is nasty. And so I'm really going to miss her. You know, she was just always been a rock for me, as I think anybody's mom is. And she had a good life. She was 74 years old. And, you know, for that, you're thankful. I feel like under other circumstances, and if we didn't have this pandemic, she had probably another at least good 10 to 15 years in her. But, you know, unfortunately, we're not going to get to that. But the good news is everything that she did. And, you know, I'm always going to be indebted to her for how she raised me and what she gave me. You've got a great mom, great dad. You have one of the greatest gifts you could ever get. Somebody that loves you and pours positivity in you and also tries to teach you right from wrong and give you a good moral compass to work from. You are blessed. You truly are.
Well, we're sorry to hear all this, Kev. We love you, and if you need anything, we have your back, and so does the nation. And you know, whatever you need, we're here for you.
Yeah. Well, I again, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody. You know, yesterday, obviously, as you can imagine, was a really tough day. And my dad and I are not typically criers, but obviously you are. And, you know, you just feel like it's there at any given second. You know, you could just start crying, and that's a tough way to spend a day.
Sure.
But, you know, everybody who sent really nice wishes, every time I got a message of positivity, if you sent one, thank you. If you didn't, I don't care. But I appreciate everybody who sent me a text or just even put something up there. Meant a lot. And I know that when I did that before and just asked for, you know, prayers and your thoughts for Mom, all the comments, I screenshot every single comment, sent it to her. And I believe that she was able to see that. And I think that did make her feel great. And so thank you very much for that, for making my mom feel good.
If we come up and give you a group hug, does it make it worse or does it make it better?
You can do what you want to do.
Well, I don't want to.
It makes it worse.
Okay.
He doesn't want a hug.
I hear you.
And that's why we need to give him one.
Yeah, I know.
It's all good. I'll hug away.
And then, you know that point where you're supposed to let go?
Keep it going.
We don't.
90-second
Stay locked
hug.
in.
Yes.
Stay locked in.
Oh, Kevin, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It just sucks.
It does. It does. There's just so many people that are going through this kind of stuff. And, you know, so many other people that had reached out. My buddy John at Duffy's had just texted me, and he lost his mom too early, too. And it's tough when that situation happens. But I thank you for everybody that left a comment. You're not alone in this, and it's nice to have, you know, people that reach out and give you any kind of sense of warmth. It really does. It means so much. So, you know, thank you so much to that. And again, you know, thank you to all those nurses that are out there and doctors battling this thing on the front lines, and you guys going through what you're going through. My mom just talked so much about how great her nurses were, and you know, they made her feel good, and they really gave her great attention. And I know you know, Little Smiles, our charity, they brought them food, and I know that was a thing late last week that they're going to bring them food again, Virginia.
Yeah, it was so beautiful how it happened. So we were talking on the radio about, you know, in Logan, where Kevin grew up, there's a place called Pizza Crossing, and it's like your favorite pizza place.
Yeah.
And so we thought, wow, wouldn't it be cool if we can get that Pizza Crossing pizza to Lancaster? It's not too far from Logan, but it's not right next door either. And sure enough, we had some KVJ Nationers that were in an RV riding across country this weekend. And so what they did, they were so awesome. They went to Pizza Crossing and they picked up all the pizzas for your mom's nurses and doctors.
No way.
And they drove in their RV listening to the KVJ show.
No way.
And drove the pizza to the hospital where your mom was and delivered to her nurses and doctors on Saturday.
Wow.
I mean, just amazing that they were listening.
Yeah,
and that
how
they were
about that?
able to reach out to us, and that we were able to put it all into motion. And Her nurses were so good to your mom.
Yeah, they were. They really were.
And I know it's not going to be an easy day to do a show or even an easy week. So, I think your strength is really honestly inspiring. You're keeping it together. I know you're in pain.
Sure.
But you are, honestly, you're doing an amazing job. Just keeping it
thank
together.
you.
You really are.
Well, honestly, it does so much good to be here with you guys. It kind of keeps me going. I don't want to sit around and think about this. It is what it is, and I'm your heart's broken, for something like this. But I don't want to sit around. I don't like to sit in sadness. I can't. I just can't.
And you don't have to.
No, and that's why I'm so happy to be in here. I'm so glad that I got this. My job is to keep it light and fun, which I'm doing a terrible job of right now.
Well, it sounds a little weird to keep this light and fun.
Yes, but that's what we're here to do. And like I said, have a great, not only people that I work with, they've been awesome. People from our corporate at Hubbard have been sending me just amazing messages. They're truly, they've established a great family atmosphere here. And I feel that big warm hug, not only from our coworkers, from everybody on the KVJ show, but from everybody in KVJ Nation. So trust me, I feel it, and I appreciate that for everybody that's done that, because it is tough. And I've had loss, but not like this. And
this
so
is very close to home.
Yeah, it is.
This is like the next level. I just went through this with, burying my stepmom, and it's tough, man.
It is.
Because you're direct family. So this next week coming up, like, you and your dad are going to have to make all kinds of decisions, and we'll be here for you. There's just a lot of things that the family has to do that you don't think about.
Yeah.
And when it comes to work stuff, we got you covered. Don't even you go up there, do your thing. There's nothing to worry about down here.
I'll be here through Wednesday, and then I'll be out on Thursday and Friday to go back to Logan and do the ceremony, all that kind of stuff. So again, thank you to everybody, and for everybody else who's still going through it. I know a lot of people are and still fighting it. Just keep fighting. God bless you all, because I know what it's like, and it's tough on a lot of families. So Well, coming up here on the KVJ show, we got some call 'em outs to get to. And I know, Jbird, because your mom had passed years ago, you always look for signs. And the Cardinal is one that you always see signs and things like that give you hope that,
I believe,
they're there.
Yeah.
Looking down, and I actually am kind of nervous because my mom always has pride in my business, and I just don't even know what kind of vantage point she has, and so I'm really kind of worried about how much she's actually able to see now and what's going to be going on.
She sees it all now, Kevin.
Yeah, so trust me, that's really kind of weirded me out of everything else. It's like, oh, good heavens, is she sitting front and center? Because I know she would do nothing else other than just watch what I'm doing and then try to make sure that I'm staying in line.
You got no secrets anymore.
I got no secrets, and it's really kind of horrifying. But thank you, Virginia. Yeah, it's just kind of amazing how things do kind of work out. You were telling the story with wanting to send food to my mom's nurses when she was in the hospital for COVID, and Amanda and Chad were in their RV and heard us talking about how we wanted to send them Pizza Crossing, a big pizza place in my hometown of Logan. My mom was a town over in Lancaster, about 18 miles away, and they heard that and we're going to stop at Pizza Crossing anyway in my hometown of Logan. And they got a hold of us and said, hey, we'll pick up the pizzas and run them there, because we didn't know, that's a good haul, a good 20, and I don't know where the hospital is in Lancaster. It could be 25 miles. So that's a pretty good delivery. And they picked up all the food from Pizza Crossing and jet it to Lancaster. I don't know if anybody in Lancaster even knows about Pizza Crossing.
They hand-delivered it to Zach from the ICU, one of your mom's nurses. So Zach came down from the ICU and grabbed it and brought it up to the whole nurses' station that was taking care of your mom.
And I will tell you, hey, look, my family is very religious, and we have faith, and we believe in things. And, a big part of faith is just that. It's believing in the unseen, and you don't know. And it is tough, but when you do have faith, it is interesting that just certain things like that work out that, to me, strengthens your faith. Where you're like, it's just such a cosmic coincidence that it just seems kind of odd. And Jbird, I know you look into this. You lost your mom, 7+ years ago?
No, yeah, 2009 we lost Mom.
Yeah, so a long time ago. And in that time, there's just one thing after another that just seems like she's dropping little breadcrumbs to be like, hey, I'm here.
I've had many moments where I feel like my mom is right there. I mean, you talked about the cardinal a few minutes ago. I told you about the one time how I was telling my sister about how I had this cardinal experience with my mom and telling her all this stuff. And as I'm telling her this, a cardinal literally flies out of the sky, lands on a chair, and is looking at me as I'm telling my sister this story about cardinals. And I don't see cardinals that often.
Right, yeah.
For at least for me, I see them every now and then, but they're always in a moment where I'm talking about my mom, and it's in a spiritual kind of a feeling it comes over me.
Those are those kind of moments where it's just like, wow, that's just really odd. What are the odds of that actually working out? And that's what kind of maybe gives you a little bit of hope in your faith that I believe in something that is legit, and there is a place for us to go, and there is some kind of soul and a cosmic connection that we all have.
Moments like that give you comfort, and that's what you need.
Big time. Yeah. And it's interesting when you see things like, for instance, this, like, what does this even mean? Samantha sent us an email and she said, I've got 3 clocks that all stop working at the same time. The other day I looked at the clock on my wall and it said it was 1:47 a.m. and it was actually 12:30 p.m. Then I looked at my watch. My watch said 1:47 a.m. when it was still 12:30. So I walk into my bathroom, that clock is the exact same way. It stopped at 1:47 a.m. And this happens all the time. Now, the only thing I can think is you're probably thinking, what, power outage? But it's always different times, but all 3 clocks will stop working at the same time. And what lends me to believe that, if you're talking about a watch, a power outage wouldn't affect that. There have been times where all 3 clocks will stop and the time will be 3:30 p.m. when it's really 9 a.m. Why are all my clocks stopping at the same time? And has this ever happened to anybody else?
Now, the naysayers, or even a ghost team that would go in there, they'd want to eliminate the one possibility is somebody messing with you, doing this to you. If there's not, to me, that sounds like some ghost-like activity right there. And that happened in the movie The Conjuring, where the clocks would stop at the same time throughout the house. It does have a paranormal feel to it.
Yeah.
Unless, someone's, you have a buddy like Virginia get in there and change all the clocks on you. This sounds like a paranormal thing.
And it is a clock, something like that. I got an email from Nicole, and she said, my uncle was close in age to me when I was a child. We played a lot as best friends, and he was also deaf, so I learned sign language. He went to a special school in Plantation for deaf students, and in their wood shop class built a wooden clock for my mom. It hung in our living room forever. However, he died at the age of 17, and after that, the clock always stopped at 8:45 every night. My mom would always replace the batteries or try to fix it, but eventually we just left it at 8:45 the time he died.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, that's stuff like that. I love that kind of stuff.
Is there some kind of way that people can talk from the great beyond through clocks? And is that one of the things going on?
You would know if Denny's clock always stops at 4:20 for some reason.
Yes, it does. Yes, and he doesn't bother to change it because every minute's 4:20. All right, we got some call 'em outs here today. Let us know who you need to call out. 877-979-WRMF. You can also text them in here to us, email them, however you want to get them to us. I thought this was rather interesting because, a lot of times call 'em outs just have to do with people that just get nasty and are ugly. And it's like, just stop doing that. There's just, unfortunately, too much of it. And they did this new study, and they found that those loudmouth jerks that you see online actually are loudmouth jerks in real life.
I think they are. I really don't think they're just hiding.
Because some people are like, oh, they're just keyboard warriors. They like the anonymity, and that's why they do that. And according to this new study, they said, no, they're actually jerks in real life. The internet just gives them a bigger megaphone.
Yeah, I used to think that they were hiding, that they're not like that. No, they're jerks in real life. Because I've met some in real life.
Yes.
That I've talked to online. I go, oh my gosh, you are a douchebag.
You're right. It just amplifies their douchiness.
It does.
That's really what it does. So always, they just have an eternal call 'em out here. Let me see. We've got a call 'em out here. It says, so my boss forgot my anniversary at the office. No surprise. I went to a store to get wine and was carded. I haven't been carded in over a decade, but I didn't bring my license with me because I walked along, so I didn't have it. Don't care. Put it back. I'll just go back, get a box of cookies instead. I told him my boss forgot my anniversary, and this was just how my day was going, and they called the manager to double check, but not only did they give me the wine, they gave me a dozen roses and said, here you go. Hope you have a great rest of your day. I'd love to say thank you to the store, but I don't want to get him in trouble. I do love to say that what I think about my boss, but you get the idea. So it's kind of a twofold there. It's a negative call him out on the boss that forgot the anniversary, but a positive call him out on the store that gave her some cool freebies.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Unexpected, fun, free stuff from the store is awesome.
Got another call him out here. Fiona had said, Jbird, you and Virginia need to stop saying the term chick. It's outdated, and to be quite frank, it's cringy when you all say it. Women aren't supposed to be called chicks. Virginia, you're a female, and you say it all the time. Shame on you. I expect it from Jbird, but not from you. That's my 2 cents.
Well, this chick sounds like a wild title bit, doesn't she?
Listen, chick.
Listen, chick.
Are you going to stop saying it, Virginia?
No.
Hell no.
It's just a word. I mean, why would you be offended by that?
This might not be the show for you.
We encourage you to not listen.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Somebody sent in a call him out, said, I want to call out the parents of my 3rd grader. My son came back Friday with a headache, and my paranoia kicked in, so I tested him for COVID, and it came back positive. My son told me half his class is out, and still no call from the school to let us know. Not sure if they think it's a cold, but we all have to test before we continue with our life to avoid the spread. I'm calling the school in a few minutes to see what they say. I know my son's school has been very good. They send out emails almost every single day alerting you of how many kids have tested positive. And so I think they were doing a great job. So I wouldn't want to call out all schools. Maybe one just slipped through.
I think every place is handling it differently because think about it. You have different administration.
Right.
That's just how it's going to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Somebody else said, I'm calling out the random jerk who fed my dog chocolate at the park. I was sitting on the bench when this jackass walks up without asking. He starts petting my dog, and before you know it, he's feeding my dog a Hershey's Kiss. I screamed at him and scared him away. My dog's fine, but some people are just so dumb and weird.
Yeah, you got to be careful. People, almost like a kid, you just shouldn't go up and randomly start petting someone's dog. At least ask the owner that. I've seen some real bad things go on when you start petting a dog.
Isn't chocolate really bad for dogs?
Terrible. The person's an idiot that did that.
Yeah.
You're touching your dog, they're giving it chocolate. That's why we have call them outs.
Oh
Right.
my gosh.
I'm glad they scared him away, though.
I wouldn't have just scared him away. I would have throat punched him.
There is a viral call-em out. There's a couple from Chicago named Doug and Deidre Simmons that had a destination wedding in Jamaica, and one of the couples who RSVP'd didn't show up, so Doug and Deidre charged them for the no-show. They say the couple told them 4 different times that they were coming, and they never called to cancel, so they sent them an invoice for $240, $120 each seat at the reception that they left empty.
Is that what happens when you RSVP, not show up? Do you pay for it?
I mean, you should offer to pay for it, but to send somebody a bill, you're under no obligation to pay it. You don't know what happened. I mean, what if they had an immediate family member die?
Or what if they had poopy cramps?
Yeah, they could have been on this toilet sick. Like, people cancel for a multitude of reasons. I think you got to lead with compassion, not send them a bill.
Okay.
Imagine if someone sent you a bill.
I'd be like, all right, well, don't hold your breath.
Somebody calling out the delivery truck that parked behind my car and blocked me in. I was late for work.
Yeah, man, that can happen.
Totally. I've had that happen to me, too.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Somebody else want to call out the a-hole who grabbed my bag at Universal and yanked me back to accuse me of not being 6 feet from the person in front of me.
What?
Apparently they thought that they were too close, and so they grabbed their bag and yanked me. Get back from them. Can you imagine somebody having the nards to do that?
Gosh, there's so many annoying people that you're reading off right now.
Well, when you touch somebody, you're not being COVID friendly.
No.
That's worse than the
Right.
6-foot
Right,
violation.
you're clearly, tighter than 6 feet.
This is why I just don't like being around people right now because people are just not being cool.
People feeding dogs chocolate. They're grabbing book bags.
I mean, what the hell?
Yes, not cool. Not cool. Okay, we all do dumb things, but sometimes we're little kids. Other times we are drunk adults when we do. If you've got a fun story, you can use the WRMF app. And there is a feature there where you can leave us audio that we can then play on the radio. And so people do this all the time. I love it. Thank you guys for your submissions. It is a fun game to play. We got this one from Biani. What do you think? Is this a little kid or a drunk adult story here?
My grandmother made me a gown for a very special occasion. Days after it was finished, I put it on and proceeded to ride my bike. About a block away from the house, the dress caught in the gears, and I flipped over. The way the dress was caught and the position of the bike, I couldn't get up without ripping the dress. So I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and ran my ass home in nothing but my undergarments and shoes.
Okay. All right, so she goes out, rides a bike in a dress. He gets caught up in the bike. She just rips the thing off and basically runs home naked. Was she a little kid or a drunk adult when she did that, Virginia?
Wow, that could go either way. I'm going to say drunk adult.
Drunk adult, okay.
Little kid. It's definitely a little kid.
I'm going to say little kid as well because I've tried to ride a bike as a drunk adult, which I shouldn't have, and I didn't realize that still was a problem. And thankfully, I was very unsuccessful at doing it. So I wound up having to push my bike. I just know how challenging it is if you're a drunk adult to try to ride a bike. So I agree with Bird. I'm going to go with little kid.
I was a little kid. It was a gown that my grandmother made me for my first Holy Communion. And she left to the store. I decided to put it on. I got bored at home. And then I decided to ride my bike. And I wonder to this day if anybody saw me.
It was the grandma making the gown that made me think little kid.
Okay, yeah. Kind of had that feel. Okay, what about Aiden? Was he a little kid or a drunk adult when this happened?
I kicked a basketball referee in the nuts right after he made a bad call against me in a game.
Oh my. Yeah, that you're not supposed to do.
Yeah, either you or, wow, I don't know. Either way, you're rotten. But were you a little rotten kid or were you a rotten adult?
You a drunk adult playing basketball?
Could be. There's some like men's leagues, and I could see it getting away from you. I'm actually leaning on drunk adult on this.
I'm going drunk adult too because I've been in one of those men basketball
right.
leagues and I've seen the most horrific behavior from men.
Yeah. What do you think, Virginia?
I agree. Drunk adult.
Okay.
I was a drunk adult.
Yeah.
It was actually a couple years ago. I was in a men's adult basketball league, and I showed up totally hammered. I lost my mind when the ref got a call wrong. Obviously, I reacted poorly, and I kicked him square in the nuts.
Oh, my gosh. That's like assault.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
You're lucky you didn't call the cops.
That is assault.
Yeah, no doubt it is.
How long do you go to jail for if you kick someone straight in the nards like that? I mean, at least a weekend?
It depends upon what the judge winds up throwing at you. But yeah, I mean, that's nasty. I mean, that's just like going up and punching somebody.
If I'm the judge, I think I'm giving you 6 months in the clink.
Yeah. Keith, was he a little kid or a drunk adult on this?
I spit a huge wad of gum in this random woman's hair while she was laying out by our community pool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my.
That is a terrible thing, but I'm going to guess little kid on that.
I agree. Little kid.
I agree.
Yeah, gum, chewing, spitting. Yeah.
Fortunately, I was a little kid. My buddy and I were trying to make prank videos very poorly. We didn't get it.
Ooh.
And we thought it would be funny, but obviously she was super pissed because she had to cut her hair. So, yeah.
There's a lot of things that are done in the name of prank videos that is terrible behavior, and they may be one of the worst things for our society.
Terrible.
They really are. But it was a prank video. Yeah, but you're stabbing somebody.
Yeah, it
doesn't count. You're a terrible person.
You don't get a pass.
No, you can't just say #prank video.
Yes.
The pain is real.
Right.
Is that what you? If you get legit a lot of gum in your hair, you have to cut it out. I thought there was ice or peanut butter you could do to get it out.
It just depends on how spread out it is and what kind of gum it is, too.
If it's a bubblicious, look out.
Oh, you're screwed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got a poo bucket, Virginia?
I do not, and
Okay.
that sounds disgusting.
Yes, it does. But is it something that you should have? Now, why would you is the question. Now, this is explained in an email we got that says, I was at one of my good girlfriend's houses when I found a bucket on the side of her house with some wet wipes next to it. I asked why she would have wet wipes next to the bucket, and she said that it was her emergency poo bucket. Now, she only has one working bathroom in her place currently, and it's right next to her bedroom. And apparently you can hear everything that goes on. So if she has a guy over and, she's got a poo, she'll tell the dude that she needs to go get something from her car, and then she'll go outside and actually use the poo bucket.
Oh, she's a quick pooper.
She claims it's a trick that she had learned in her sorority, and all the girls that she knows from that sorority still have a poo bucket to this day. And she's trying to claim that a lot of people do this, but have you ever heard of anybody that has an emergency poo bucket?
What's the name of that sorority? Kappa Krappa Krappa?
Yeah.
The whole sorority's got poo buckets? What?
That's what you do, yeah. Well, you don't want to.
I've never heard of this.
But it's a good plan, though.
I don't hate it. I think it's kind of bizarre.
Yeah. Without a doubt, it's that.
Gosh, thank goodness where I am, nobody in my house really has to know that you're pooping. You can kind of go, the bathroom is kind of tucked away upstairs.
You have good bathrooms, you do.
Yeah, we have a whole, an area where you would never know.
But to the point of the email, there are some bathrooms that are connected to the bed. My bedroom's like that. If you're dropping it like it's hot in there, you would be able to hear everything. So what would you do if you had to let it fly and you were embarrassed?
That's really tough, and that's one of the problems of playing a home game is that you might wind up in that situation, and you don't, you're always trying to put your best foot forward, especially in the early parts of a relationship, and it shouldn't affect it. But, we're only human, right?
Well, some people do have a problem and are embarrassed about bathroom stuff. I told you about this story with my mom. My mom would hold it in even a year after my dad was married to her, would wait to go number 2 after you'd go to work, and you're married.
Yeah.
So some people are just set weird about that stuff.
Yeah, some people are, and it just really depends upon where you're set. It really is interesting, to see where people are set with doing stuff like that. Somebody, Jillian, in the chat room, had said, didn't Kevin's wife used to go to the bathroom outside, or was that a joke? No, that's not a joke. She does that, and she would have no problem with this. And we talked about this because, she's got this plan. She sees those people get those Sprinter vans, and then they put a bed in there, and they have all these TikTok videos, or they trick them out. And she's like, I would be fine with that. She's like, we would have a poo bucket. And she's like, you can't do it. You're too prissy.
She's right. I would struggle too. A poo bucket, I would struggle.
You got them prissy ass cheeks.
She's just like, you're just so high maintenance anymore. She's like, I just don't, I can't even, I could do that. She's like, I would be fine. She's like, you have to have everything just right.
I have to have mood lighting. I have to have light music.
I hate away games. I just like to have a confined, clean toilet that I know. I like those home games. To me, I don't know what it is. I just feel like an animal. I'm like, just don't even look at me. I know we all do it. I know, get over yourself. I just got a weird hang up about it. I think a lot of people do.
But it sounds like the queen doesn't really hide from the fact that if she had to drop it like it's hot, it sounds like the girl in the email is embarrassed and hiding and is afraid the guy's going to find out.
Yeah, because she doesn't want for the guy to hear what's going on in the bathroom, and there's no other option, so she has that as her emergency.
I'm just thinking, if a girl said, I have to go out to my car really quick, I'm like, okay, that's not weird. It would be weird if she has to go out to her car really quick and it's like 10 minutes later. She's got to be a quick pooper, right?
Right.
And some people are.
Look at me. I can go if I need to. I can probably do everything I need to do in 90 seconds.
So
I'm not even kidding.
A poo bucket would work for you. You could, if you were embarrassed, you could go out on the side of the house, do your business, come back in and go, hey, I'm back, babe.
And their comment would be, wow, you're back fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd actually probably need to kill time just to make it, seem more legit.
You just got to make sure that this guy doesn't get up one day and look out the window and see you popping a squat
right,
on the side of your house.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be bizarre.
Well, that's worse
if you get busted, it is bizarre.
Well, that would be worse. If you're pooping on the side of your house, that's worse than you pooping in your house. And you're embarrassed about pooping next to him because he can hear it.
Yeah.
But now
Totally.
you're outside. If he catches you,
You've got to have an area that is behind a bush or something like that that's somewhat discreet. It looks like you're doing something else, like turning on a faucet.
it's got to be bulletproof. You got to have a bulletproof plan with this thing.
Yeah, you do. But yeah, okay, interesting. She's got it. Some people are talking about how they do have it in their cars in case of emergency. Some people do. Yeah. So there you go. Okay, I guess it's a thing in certain circumstances. So a lot of people got hang-ups about being in a relationship that's new and having any kind of bodily functions. Somebody had texted in and said, yeah, I've been with my girl for 11 years, been married for 1, and I still won't release gas in front of her. And if I go number 2 in the house, I've got to raise the volume on the TV. It's kind of obvious, isn't it? Somebody else said it took me a good 6 months before I felt comfortable going poo at my boyfriend's house, and it took 8 before I actually farted in front of him. And if I got a poo, I would always hold it until I got to a comfortable place. That's what's really tough. Yeah, I remember, sometimes you do an overnighter, you stay. I mean, that's tough. And
Maybe you had some ribs that night.
Oh,
Ribs.
yeah. I remember the next morning, you would go out, and when I'd walk to my car, I would let out about an 8-minute long fart. It was unbelievable.
The date fart.
Oh,
yes.
my gosh. It's unbelievable. I'd win contests with that thing. It was crazy. But it's weird what we do. We do it. Well, Jbird apparently has got somebody else that's seen him naked. We just had this story last week where he was on his pool floaty naked, and one of the pest control guys walks into the backyard, and boom, there you are, and then you freak out and you actually do a spread eagle and show him everything.
It was legit spread eagle. It was like I was posing for Playgirl. That's how I was sprawled out on my pizza floaty.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Well, I didn't think anyone was coming. My fence is fixed. I'm just enjoying the day.
Right.
And then boom.
So who's the next person now that's seen you naked?
So I'm working on my podcast studio,
Yeah.
and I'm turning my closet into where people can sit. There'll be a little couch in there. So I had a guy come over and knock out the closet. He's doing closet work for
Yeah.
me. But we were filming for our KVJ horror movie in the next room over, and we got so caught up in the KVJ filming of the horror movie. Now that's the filming of it's going on in my bedroom. It's me, it's Sweet Denny's, and it's Joe Ponton, and of course, our KVJ horror movie, we always feature one shot of my ass. That's always kind of like one of the things we do.
It's a trademark.
It's the trademark.
It's an Easter egg.
It's an Easter egg of our low-budget horror movie. So we were filming that shot, and I had to tape my balls because if I stand, my balls show on camera. It picks up on the video.
They want to be
dangle.
a star.
They do.
They dangle.
Both of them want to be a star.
Both of them are just
Yeah.
looking for FaceTime.
They're fighting for FaceTime because we tried to do the scene without the tape, and Denny's goes, Bird, keep seeing your balls, man.
We got to tape these puppies up.
So I go over to the guy who's fixing JP's his name. Really awesome guy.
Yeah.
I know him from a long time ago, but I haven't seen him in probably 10 years. I don't know him that well.
Yeah,
so he's
not
in
well
there.
enough he needs to be seeing your nards.
No. So I go in there and go, hey, JP, do you have any tape I could borrow? I didn't tell him what it was for because I didn't want it to get weird.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, sure, man. He gives me the tape. I tape it up. We get so caught up in filming, I forgot one of the props up in my room or up out in the kitchen. So now I've got my balls taped up. I'm butt-ass naked. I go out and walk into my little kitchen area. Here's JP. Full frontal. It's my peen, my nards, all taped up, smushed.
Oh, you gotta be like, well, this is a one freaky monkey.
There's no way this guy did not think we were filming some odd porn.
Yeah.
It looked so bizarre.
He's probably like,
man.
I regretted giving that guy my tape.
But it wasn't only full frontal.
You keep that tape.
You can have it.
That's exactly what he said. He goes, you guys can keep
It's
it.
your
Just
tape.
keep the tape.
It's your tape
I
now.
don't blame him.
But it was worse than showing somebody full
man.
frontal because it was smushed and taped.
Well, it's just weird. Like, why would anyone ever do that?
Well, obviously, you're into kinky stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I said, oh, man, I'm so sorry. I forgot you were here. I flashed 2 dudes in less than a week.
That's
You
hot.
have, yeah. So is he coming back?
He's got to paint it.
He wished he didn't have to.
Wow. That's interesting stuff. All right, so if you want to see Jbird naked, just go do some work at his house.
Yes.
And what is the release date? Do we have one yet for the KVJ horror movie for this season?
We're hoping it's going to be earlier than Halloween. We're working on
Okay.
getting a theater right now because we'd like to do a big premiere, but we'll see how all that goes. But yeah, we're doing real good on time.
Okay.
The big moment is the Kevin Ralston scene.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Will you be taping Ralston
Yeah.
up?
I'll bring the tape.
Save some tape.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. So many people on meth. Ow!
Well, imagine this. Suing your parents. That's got to be kind of weird. But what's even more weird about this story is that he was suing them because of a porn collection.
What?
And they ruled in favor of the son.
Oh, I think I've heard this story.
Yeah, it was a judge ordered a Western Michigan couple to pay their 43-year-old son $30,441 for getting rid of his porno collection. And they also got to pay for his attorney's fees, which is $14,500. What had happened was the 43-year-old son lived with his parents for a little while following a divorce. And then he moved to another place, and then in that, they found the porn collection, and the parents threw it out. And in an email used in the case, the dad had said, frankly, I did you a big favor getting rid of all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, you got that kind of money. You're into some stuff, Virginia.
I mean, how much porn did he have? That's a lot of money.
$30,000 worth?
I played baseball with a guy who was obsessed with porn. His place looked like his own adult video warehouse.
Yeah.
He was just so into it.
Wow.
Did your parents ever get rid of something that you loved that you knew that they hated?
And sold all my clothes at a garage sale one time. all of my clothes. Everything. Every stitch of clothing I had and sold at a garage sale.
Well, I remember
Did she keep the money? Or
Yes.
Did she?
Yes.
She didn't even give you the money?
Yes, she kept the money.
She sold your stuff and then kept the profits?
How did she explain that away?
She didn't think I wanted it.
She's a gangster.
She
That's
didn't
how.
wanted any clothes?
She did not think I wanted. It was during a weird time. In her defense, it was when my mom passed away. I was living there, and I was also living at my apartment. So I was going to both places.
Yeah.
And she got confused and thought it was stuff for the garage sale. Like, and you just sold all my clothes. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
I didn't know.
Yeah, but I did really well.
I'm taking the money. I'm going to Carrabba's.
I remember I went to my first concert called Monsters of Rock way back in the day, and I came home with this T-shirt, and the band was named Dawkin, and they had this big drunken wolf that was smoking. It was a cartoon-looking wolf. And I had actually gotten it signed by the drummer of the band.
Fancy.
And so, I was so
my
into
God.
it. So this is like my prize, little treasure here.
Valuable.
But I guess I had left it in the van when we came back. And I'm looking everywhere for this shirt, and I see it all dirty and wadded up in the corner of the garage. And I asked Mom, like, what happened? She's like, oh, I used it to wash the car. And I looked at him like, well, that was my concert shirt. She's like, oh, I didn't know that. And the autograph had wiped off. Oh. The Dawkins shirt was ruined, but I think my mom saw it and she knew exactly what she was doing. She's like, I'll show him getting a drunk wolf shirt.
Drunk wolf. Yeah. Devil music.
no
yes.
party wolf for
Yeah,
you.
no party. Oh, if I would have worn that, you kidding me?
Much like the dad with the porn, your mom did you a favor.
Yeah, no, you're right. There's a 34-year-old woman in Georgia that got arrested recently for pulling out a vibrating love toy at the beach and then going to town on herself right in broad daylight.
People, there's a lot of masturbating going on at the beach.
In broad daylight?
Yeah, there is.
With the sand?
There are people there that go. I think they like the idea of someone watching them.
They're creepy.
The beach attracts a lot of perverts.
She told the cops she didn't think it was a big deal because, quote, it only took her 20 seconds.
Well, the modern day vibrator really gets it done.
It's that good, huh?
And she probably worked herself up, just the excitement of the moment.
You are so right about that.
Adrenaline's a pumping.
They say a, quote, master manipulator was sentenced to 25 years in prison for kidnapping his wife so that he could later pretend to save her. Apparently, he also tried to get sympathy from her by faking a cancer diagnosis.
What a dirtbag.
Whoa. That guy's sick and twisted. There's a woman who went to a Marshfield, Wisconsin McDonald's and saw something interesting she took a video of. There was a cow in the backseat of a car in the drive-thru lane.
Huh.
Later, the woman found out that a man had actually bought the cow from the fair and was driving home when he's like, you know what? I could actually use a hamburger.
The cow is like, nah, I'd rather go to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
Which, I mean, that's really kind of twisted, isn't it? If you take a cow to a fast food drive-thru to get a hamburger.
It's insulting.
It's very insulting.
That is insulting to the
That's very
cow.
insulting to the cow. Hey, wait a minute. What are you taking me home for? Where are we going? Yeah, apparently there were 2 other calves in the back seat as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
He had a whole cow party back there.
Yeah, he did. Remember that gun I was telling you about? The one that was used to kill Billy the Kid?
Yeah.
It was a Colt revolver, the one that Sheriff Pat Garrett used to kill the outlaw. It was sold to an anonymous bidder over the weekend for a record $6 million at an auction.
Wow.
Pat Garrett, Virginia. You know about Pat Garrett?
Nothing. I don't know nothing about
Nothing.
Pat Garrett.
Yeah, they thought it was only going to go for 3. It went for double.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy stuff, huh? I'd be kind of a cool, I mean, if you had that kind of money, though, to have the gun that killed Billy the Kid.
If you have FU money, that's a very
Right.
cool piece of memorabilia.
Nice little talking thing to show off to all your buds. Okay, can you use your partner's phone without asking permission? Where is that set? What are the boundaries? Got an email that said, my phone died the other night and I really had to call my mom about something. My girlfriend was out in the backyard talking with our neighbors, so I decided to use her phone. Now, I know her password, so I unlocked it. I called my mom, and while I was talking with my mom, my girlfriend walks back in the house. When I got the phone, she gets super weird and defensive about, like, why are you using my phone? She said I should have asked her permission to use it and how it was an invasion of her privacy. And I said, well, look, I just had to make a quick call to my mom, and I want to interrupt you. You were talking to the neighbor. She continued to tell me how wrong I was and then immediately changed her password. I think it's really odd how defensive she got about this.
That is odd.
She changed the password right in front of you?
People that are that weird about it are hiding something, and I don't know. It might be benign, whatever she's hiding, but she's hiding something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so should I have asked permission to use my girlfriend's phone, and is something else going on here? We've been together for 3 months. Now, 3 months, I think you're talking about time here. And
3 months is early.
3 months is real early.
I mean, I've been married 20 years, and honestly, I still would have slight hesitation about jumping right on my wife's phone to do something. I think there's a respect level that's there.
3 months in, you grab the phone, you go into, the code, you go into the code, and then you go in there. Now, I'm not saying she's not cheating, because I think she is cheating, but I would never, ever take someone's, 3 months in, that to me, I would never do that. Grab someone's phone, not ask them, do their password.
I think he's in the wrong there.
He's in the wrong there.
Yeah, and is she hiding something? Yeah, maybe, but at the same time, I think you could, even if you weren't hiding something, get weirded out. And it's not necessarily that it's a cheating thing. Maybe she's got photos that she's weird about. Maybe maybe
That's
she's got like a little diary in there and she writes thoughts.
That's what I have.
In there.
Not necessarily that she's cheating on you, just that she has stuff that she doesn't want to see. And I'm telling you, just 3 months into a relationship, she's got secrets.
I wouldn't be happy if somebody went through my phone 3 months in, because to your point, I do have stuff in here. I wouldn't be cheating on the person, but I have private stuff in here, private thoughts.
Yeah, so many.
Yeah,
so many creepy private thoughts.
Now, somebody texts in. They said, my husband and I, we got the same password on all our devices. The Mexican Queen and I were the same way. If our batteries are low, we just use the other person's device. I don't see why it's a big deal, unless, of course, the one partner isn't transparent and is hiding something.
I'll tell you why that's different, because I agree with the person who texted. I don't think it is a big deal. When you're married and you guys are partners and you guys are a team, I get that. 3 months into a relationship is very, very early, and you're still getting to know that person.
You're not partners yet. Yeah, you're not a team yet.
You're trying to see if you are a team, but it's so new. That's why that's different.
And it's a good question that Penelope has in the chat room. How does he know the password after only 3 months? Is that something she would just volunteer to you? Or are you just being a weird gawker and looking over her shoulder when she went to open her phone. You're like going, okay, her password is 1234, and then you use that.
Well, I know sometimes people will say the word out loud of their password and go, oh, my password is blank, and that's how you could realize someone's password. See what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's just something about it because your whole world is in your phone. There are things that are there. It could be maybe you're having a text conversation, not that it's about, cheating, but you're just like, look, I would just rather my partner not read this.
I do think something's, she acted defensive, but I think there's something shady going on with everybody involved in this thing.
I think what he did, I think the reaction he got is natural. I think you were in the wrong. And I don't think you should be suspicious of her.
Yeah, married people keep on saying, yeah, but me and married people, we get.
You're different.
You are different than this situation.
This
This is
3
only
months.
dating 3 months.
Yeah.
It takes at least, 3 years, you think, before you really know somebody?
Do you ever know somebody?
And if you don't live with that person, let's say you're dating somebody for 3 years, if you don't live with them, you can hide a lot of stuff, my friends.
You can hide a double life.
Yep. Got another email here. Somebody wants to know, my ex allows teenage sleepovers with the boyfriend. My 17-year-old daughter has been spending the night at her boyfriend's house with the approval of my ex. Yes, his parents are home and they're the same age, but still, this doesn't sit well with me. And I know my ex is trying to play the quote-unquote cool parent card on me by allowing her to do this when she's at her mom's, but there's no way I'm going to allow it in my home. So, without looking like the bad guy, how can I make this stop? I think that a lot of divorced parents deal with this, and I do see this, and I think it's more of a phenomenon that I see with women who want to look cool with their daughters and they want to feel like they're still with it and in touch with what's cool, and they want their daughters to think that they're cool. I don't think guys, from what I've observed, seem to care as much about their sons or daughters thinking that they're cool. But I do see this a lot with moms. And what do you do when you realize, look, you still have to be a disciplinarian. You can't try to be the coolest parent on the block and be your daughter's best friend.
I'm your buddy.
Right. And I think that some moms, I've seen this, where they get so jazzed when their daughter's like, my mom's so cool. Isn't she the coolest? And you can just see the mom pick up and be like, yeah, I am the coolest. This is great. I love this. Yeah.
Mom's so cool.
You want to sleep with your boyfriend in the same bed? Yeah, of course. Go ahead. And, that's like, look, this just don't make it so easy for them.
Yes, Mom's so cool. Mom, pass me the cocaine.
Yeah. Right. It's kind of that way. And you're just like, wait, what are you letting your kid get away with? But, somebody's got to step up. So if you are a dad in this situation, and I know the genders can be reversed, that easily could happen. So I'm not saying it's all one way all the time. But what do you do if you're the parent and you're in that situation and you're just like, stop trying to be the cool parent?
What a nightmare that must be. I mean, there are some people who really have gone through with the divorce, and they everything with their ex is such a struggle and a fight. Even the smallest thing is a battle.
I don't know what you would do.
You can't do a lot. I mean, the thing is, as long as they're not in harm's way, you can't control what happens at the other person's house, and you can't dictate what happens. That other co-parent gets to do whatever they want as long as the kid is safe. You could say that, it's not safe. There could be teen pregnancy, but you're going to have to go to court. You're going to have to pay all these lawyers' fees. It's just...
So if you're the dad, do you just have to reset your own standard and say, oh, well, they're banging anyway, so who cares?
I think you said they were afraid to be the bad guy. Sometimes you're going to have to appear to be the bad guy, even though you're not.
It's tough because when you're always the bad guy and then the kids, they don't want to be with you and you feel that way because like, Mom's so cool. Why are you such a jerk? You're like, look, I'm not being a jerk. I'm trying to help you make decisions that are not going to possibly ruin the rest of your life. And, just being flippant about sex can be one of those things, whether it be a disease or a child that could, alter the course of your life a good bit. It seems like an innocent decision, but, when you're not ready for this, it could really have repercussions that you pay for a long time.
Speaking of disease, Nurse Schmidt in the chat room constantly always reminding us STIs are on the rise right now.
They are, okay.
Wrap it up.
Okay. STIs, huh?
Or
All right.
STDs. You could call them either one.
Okay.
I see that they call them STIs in modern day times now.
Do they really? It's an STI.
Yeah, that's what I see.
Huh.
Look
okay.
at you.
Yeah.
Up
You're
on the terms.
Thank Nurse Schmidt.
teaching us something new. Thank you very much. All right. Any thoughts on how you are dealing with this, where you're the uncool parent? It's got to be tough. All right, Jbird teaching me something new. STIs. That's a new STD, apparently.
Sexually transmitted infections.
STIs. Okay. Always got to stay up on that lingo, huh?
Y'all married. Y'all don't worry about that stuff.
Not at this point.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I worry for you, Pumpkin, out there in the trenches.
absolutely.
It's tough. It's a different game. There's a couple other terms that are out there that are new. You heard of roaching? Apparently, that's a new term for when you find out that somebody's cheating on you with a ton of other people. They call it roaching because of that gross feeling you get when you turn on the lights in a room and you see the roaches scatter. So I guess the people they're cheating with are the roaches, not the person they're dating.
That's kind of dumb.
Yeah, I don't know if I feel
Well,
that.
Kevin, we hate that one.
We
Okay,
do.
Yeah. And they say hypernormal is another interesting term. That's brand new. It's so overly normal that it's creepy. Hypernormal.
hell?
I'm like, what?
You're kind of hyper normal, Kevin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I am.
You
Yeah,
are.
I'm so normal, it's creepy.
You're like, what's going on with him?
Yeah, what is, yeah.
Something shady.
What's going on?
He's too normal. He's too much of a Boy Scout.
Yeah, what is going on? Yeah, okay, interesting stuff here. Let me see. Some of the comments coming in, somebody said, Kevin, you're so wrong. Dads totally do it where they try to butt it. Yeah, I'm sure they do. I'm not denying that. From my experience, I've seen a lot more moms doing it than I've seen the dads.
Kevin, you're just so wrong.
Yeah, and that's honestly from my own experiences. In fact, I've seen the dads, in a sense, almost relish in the fact that they are, the evil dad, because I think they feel like, you know what, I'm doing my job. I think it's a lot of times because, keep in mind, I coached in the softball world, and it's a lot of these dads with daughters. And
Right.
they're like, I am going to be the protective ogre. And so I think that dynamic is different. And it really is interesting, from moms to sons, moms to daughters, and you do the same thing with dads. It's really interesting to watch what the dynamics will be like. Dads with daughters are different. And that's why I think you a lot of times have this. The moms are like, I want to be your best friend. And the dad's like, no, I'm going to be that protective disciplinarian, almost to a fault on both ends. That's just, in my own experience, that's where I've seen it go. So some people are just saying, you know what, if you're going to be the unpopular parent, you just got to go with it. You just got to say, look, one day they'll realize that what I did in the now, I might be losing popularity, but one day in 10 or 20 years, somewhere down the line, when they start to get to my age and have their own kids, they'll be going, I'm so thankful that my parent played the heavy.
That parent was right.
Right.
The other parent did it wrong.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. Some of the other comments, somebody said, yeah, my kid's mom left them with me and I raised them since they were 10 and 6. I was the uncool parent while she was their friend. Now they're 24 and 20 and they both can't stand mom. She's seen as an airhead and irresponsible, where I am my son's best friend, and my daughter comes over at least twice a week just to hang out.
You're a rock.
Yeah.
You're the stability and you're the boundaries that kids need. Kids need structure and boundaries. It can't be just a loose free-for-all.
And at a certain point, yeah, they're going to come to you for guidance, because they're going to realize that you stood your ground and you weren't just, going with the wind and whatever you thought was popular to say. You weren't just going to say it. You were going to tell them what they needed to hear.
You went the right way as a parent, not a buddy.
Yeah. So there you go. Well, Jbird apparently uses Google a lot because he often thinks that he's done something that's going to kill himself. Like he's apparently got poison control on speed dial or something.
Well, you just have to, if you get caught doing something that's a little scary and you feel yourself feeling weird,
Yeah.
And you don't want to call 911, you go to Google.
So you said you snorted too much cooking flour?
So much coke. Oh my gosh, to the point where I thought
Did you say Coke?
Did I say Coke?
I don't know.
Did
You
I?
stopped short. I'm like,
so much cooking flour.
Okay, yeah.
Not Coke.
We're talking about snorting. You might want to make sure that comes all
What
the
the
way out
hell
right.
is going on over there at your new house?
Let me go ahead and explain.
Say hello to my little friend.
I think I still have flour brain. By the
Okay,
way.
yeah, flour brain.
Well, because
battered.
we're filming for the horror movie, and there is
Yeah.
a scene where it's obviously not cocaine.
Okay, yeah.
It's flour.
Oh,
but it's
okay.
supposed to be cocaine.
Okay.
And we were doing a scene, and I wasn't really thinking, and I
Yeah.
snorted way too much of it.
Oh,
It went
yeah.
up my nose, and I got a terrible allergic reaction, Virginia, to the point where I thought I was dying. So I'm Googling.
Yeah.
I'm going, oh my gosh, do you have to go to the hospital if you snort too much flour? And they said you didn't.
You did. Okay, you're all right.
So
Good.
That relaxed me a bit. But boy, oh boy, did that hurt.
Oh, I bet. Yeah,
Yeah.
snorting anything is pretty terrible, actually.
For about 45 minutes, the right side of my brain
Yeah.
felt like it was on fire.
Oh my
I couldn't breathe out of my right nose.
Yeah.
It was rough.
You're lucky you didn't get a sinus infection, and you may still be developing one.
It's all possible. I'm ready for it all.
Apparently, what you realized, though, when you typed in, should you go to the hospital if you've snorted too much flour, is that you've got a lot of really weird Google searches where you think you've done something where you possibly have killed yourself.
These are all medical Google searches that because I thought I was either dying or something it's got gravely wrong.
Yes. Let me see. One of the other Google searches Jbird has, will you die if you drink a little bit of super glue? And the answer to that is...
Again, man,
Why are you drinking super glue?
I'm not drinking super glue. I'm not.
What is the matter with you?
As you start looking at all these things, it does start to add up why there might be some issues.
No, I did not
He's
drink super glue.
snorting flour and drinking super glue.
I had to do some crafts for, again, the movie. I got super glue all on my hand, and I got some of it from my hand to my mouth, but a good amount of it where I swallowed a little bit of it and
Oh,
go,
yeah.
I'm a little worried. I don't feel so right.
And my lips won't open now.
Yeah, I know. It was
I
just
glued my lips shut.
It actually kind of went down. It was odd how it happened. I could taste it. It felt like there was slime glue in my mouth.
Ew.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
that's a good bit,
It went
then.
down my throat.
Oh.
A little bit, just a little.
You're a mess.
So Jbird gave me all of his Google searches here.
Okay.
Just looking at some of them. This one says, can street cats cause long-lasting migraines?
What are you doing hanging out with street cats?
I got a street cat. I told you about that one pooping cat. Likes to come by my place around midnight, pop a squat, take a dump, sends off my motion light, so I think someone's in the backyard. Always looks at me. It's a street cat. I've gotten a little bit of a relationship. And there was a time I was kind of petting this little street cat.
That's not smart.
Well, it was cute.
Okay.
And
yeah.
after that, I got this really bad migraine.
Uh-oh.
Do street cats give headaches that won't stop? Couldn't find anything.
Another one of Jbird's Google searches. I taste syrup after hitting my head super hard. What does this mean?
Smacked my head really hard on a bathroom wall, and then after I hit it,
How?
sat back and smacked it.
Ooh.
Yeah, didn't see that. Didn't see it had a shelf. You know,
Oh, geez,
some showers have shelves. I sat down, and when I went back, I didn't see it, and banged my head so bad that it was. I started tasting syrup.
You think it has to do with your COVID, maybe?
I don't know.
Huh.
It knocked something loose where I could taste syrup, but I had no syrup.
Are your taste buds back?
They're not. No,
Aw.
they're really not.
Dang.
Gosh, that's
You
terrible.
got them for like 2 days back, and then they left again.
It really does bum me out, but I'm just going with lentil soup right now. I'm just eating lentil soup.
So
yeah.
you're eating healthy to do it.
At this point, might as well. I did buy some public snacks over the weekend.
Okay.
From the bakery.
Yeah.
There's some great deals going on.
Okay.
They had hand pie, caramel hand pie. But
Caramel hand
yeah,
pie. Oh,
there's
man.
No taste buds back.
Oh, that's terrible.
Terrible.
That is. Can you eat a sub if it has a little bit of bleach on it?
Who bleached your sub?
I had a sub out. I was bleaching something, and I forgot the sub was on the side, and the spittle, if you will, the
it's
remnants,
sprayed.
the spray got somewhere on the bread a little bit, and I was so hungry. I had just gotten that sub. I didn't feel like doing the whole thing over again, and I ate it. That's why I Googled it. It's fine. Apparently, you can.
A little bit of bleach
you can
does-
eat a little
does the
bit
body
of-
good?
Yes.
Okay.
You can eat a little bit of bleach, and you're fine.
I see little flying worms when I close my eyes. What does this mean?
Yeah, especially if I'm outside, if I close my eyes, I see these squiggly worm-like things flying around.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they are. But when I open my eyes, I can't see them. It's only when I close them, and they look squiggly. They're flying around.
I think that does happen. I've had that. I think there is like a biological explanation for that.
Okay.
Okay.
You just kind of like see lights, and it's just the oxygenation, I think. And
For once, he's normal.
Well, I think it's something that is relatively common.
Okay.
They look like flying worms.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really kind of a weird thing.
Gosh, thank you for backing me up on that, Ralston.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that one.
I love it.
This one I don't know though. You Googled what power lines will kill you and which ones won't. You touching power lines?
On accident. This was scary. I have a very long metal pool cleaner.
Okay.
It's kind of custom made. That's why it's so long. And I accidentally hit, when I brought it up, I hit a line.
Oh,
and then
you got
took
to
it-
watch, man.
Took it,
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
So I want to know, there's so many lines out there. The line that I
Right.
hit, nothing bad happened.
Okay.
Thank
But
goodness.
is there any of those lines? Because they're so low.
Yeah, I remember there was a guy that was trimming trees, and I think he got his tree trimmer caught up in a power line and electrocuted him.
But are the ones that are the ones that are dangerous? Are they the ones that are little bit? Because there's certain sets that are lower, and then there's ones that are higher.
We don't know. We
Are
don't
the-
work for FPL.
Well, I'm asking the good people that listen to this program.
Didn't you Google it?
Yeah, well, I found nothing. There was so much information. I was like,
You
oh.
should always assume that any line is active and could shock the bejesus out of you.
Yeah.
I know.
Don't play.
It was a reset button for me.
Okay.
Don't custom make your pull stick.
Okay. And another one that you Googled here, what will happen if you accidentally eat a wooden stick? How'd you eat a wooden stick?
I was eating something that had a wooden stick in it, and
Yeah.
I ate part of the wooden stick.
Oh, boy.
A skewer, if you
Yeah,
shall.
oh, yeah.
Swallowed some of it.
Oh, good heavens.
And I...
He eats with passion.
My
Yeah.
goodness.
I might have been a little high, and I kind of got paranoid. Thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to puncture my lungs. I Googled it. Fine.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I would think that could splinter possibly.
I think we're good. It was like good 3-4 months ago.
All right. Okay. There you go.
Look at you.
Bam.
Top form.
In my prime.
How about that? He's just pooping toothpicks.
I didn't even know it.
Yeah, I didn't even know it. Okay, fascinating stuff. The answer to some of your Google questions here, Jbird, talking about those little worms you see when you close your eyes. Somebody said they're not worms. You're actually seeing white blood cells moving inside your eyes.
No way.
Gosh, I love when smart people email and
That's
text.
crazy.
Yeah, and when you hit your head really hard and you taste syrup, they said that the synovial fluid, the brain juice, basically tastes sweet. I've had 3 concussions and I tasted sweet in my mouth every time. So that's what you're doing. You're giving yourself a concussion.
You've concussed yourself again.
Yes.
It was so bittersweet. Literally, oh my gosh, I hurt. Oh my gosh, I want pancakes.
Yeah. And when it comes to the power lines, they say the top one usually is power.
Okay, good. So the ones that I hit, they're the lower one. That looks like it's cable and
Okay.
phone and all that.
Yeah.
So I think we're good. I'm just not gonna. I'm
Don't
just gonna,
play.
I'm just gonna cut my metal pool cleaner in half.
Don't you have a pool guy?
I do, but I actually find cleaning the pool kind of meditative sometimes.
Okay.
It's nice. It's your little therapy, huh?
Get a baby stick.
Yeah.
I need a baby stick.
Just a little one.
can't
Just
be-
get a little net that the kids catch butterflies
I
with.
can't be swinging around. Well, it's custom made. That's why this thing went wrong.
That's horrifying.
The other thing that's interesting is going on with you here is the weird cravings you're having. You lost your sense of taste because of COVID, came back for like 2 days, gone again, but you say that you're getting weird cravings now.
I am, and I'm thinking it's connected because I'm not eating a lot of bad stuff right now. There's no point. I can't really enjoy it.
Right.
Even when I went to Publix, I did buy those hand pies.
Yeah.
I bought them just in case, kind of, if
Ready for a coming out party.
I am.
Yeah.
So I have something there.
Yeah.
You just sit on your rug in your kitchen and just stare at them and cry.
Yeah, and it's crazy too because I'm losing a lot of weight again at an alarming
Okay.
rate because I'm cutting out all the stuff that I really love.
And that's the only thing that's sexy about COVID.
Yeah, but I also have that thing when I lose too much weight, everybody that listens to this show likes to tell me I look sickly, that I'm dying, I have cancer. So it's not a good thing. This is not a good move.
Yeah, well, don't worry. It's going around. Jennifer on our Facebook has said, OMG, is Kevin okay? He's so skinny. His eyes are sunken. His cheekbones are hollowed. I responded, no, he's dying.
Good. Yeah, start responding with some really
No,
dark stuff.
He's not okay. He's dying.
He's not okay.
He's not okay.
Yeah, but I think it is. I'm getting weird cravings, and it also might be because I'm not eating a bunch of stuff, and when I get when I get real hungry and I get like that, I will start getting.
Your body misses it.
It does. It misses it.
It's become accustomed to eating really sweets and treats and lots of snacks.
I'm eating a lot of lentil soup again. I'm getting gentle with lentil. I can only eat so much lentil.
Yeah. Somebody texted in here and said, yeah, when my husband lost his sense of taste during COVID, he craved everything salty.
Wow.
It is, yeah, because I think it's a brain thing. I've seen that. They've done, brain scans, and they've seen that, and it's just a rewiring of your brain. For whatever reason, COVID is doing that, and it will make you crave weird things.
Well, even just pictures, looking at pictures will make you, and that's what happened to me. I saw these dog treats. They're dog ice cream looking things. Now, obviously, I don't want to eat dog food, but I saw this, and I go, oh my gosh, that looks good. That looks like I would want to eat that. It looks delicious, and I brought it.
Okay.
You brought the dog ice cream?
So he actually got it and is...
because I wanted to see if anyone else was going through this.
Yeah, you're craving dog ice cream.
It looks like... That looks so good.
Cheesy bacon flavored? That just made me throw up in my mouth.
I know. That's why my brain's not working right.
It's Dogsters.
Cheesy bacon ice cream.
But look at it, though.
Try it out, yeah. Try it out. See if you can taste it.
I can't taste it anyway.
So that when they make cheesy... Can you imagine, would any human eat cheesy bacon ice cream? Does that sound good?
But look, doesn't that look good to you?
It does.
Like
it looks good.
Act like it's not cheesy bacon.
Yeah,
Just
I would eat that.
The texture of it looks delicious.
You hand that to a fat Kevin, and he's going to eat that.
Yeah, I'll take a bite of it.
Yeah. Okay.
You still can't taste.
Nothing. Really?
Nope, just cold.
Can you try it, Virginia?
No.
Have a little bite. Come on.
Just see if it, maybe it doesn't have any flavor. Or does it taste like cheesy bacon?
Does it taste good?
It's not bad.
See, it's not bad. It's not bad.
It's not bad, really?
I expected it to be much worse.
I know.
It's a little sweet and it's a little bacony.
I think what they do is they make it to look like human food, and the human gets all ginned up.
But
In a pinch, I would eat that.
Yeah, can you eat your dog treats? Because some of them look gourmet. Have you seen those gourmet dog treats?
Yeah.
They look delicious.
Some of those gourmet treats, I think humans can't eat them.
They have full-on cookies with frosting, and they look really fancy.
People are asking, what does it smell like? Because I can't smell it. Can you describe it?
It smells bad.
Okay.
It smells bad.
It tastes better than it smells.
What did it taste like?
It tastes like sweet bacon.
That sounds delicious.
Wow.
I'm so into this.
I just ate dog ice cream, and I didn't hate it.
I love that.
Darren and the Pizzle said that my daughters, before with COVID, they lost their sense of taste, and they started taking zinc, and then they got it back.
Yeah, so whose idea was to get me this?
That's my people at Begin Anew. They gave me these apple cider vinegar gummies. They have zinc in them, and if you take supposedly a few of them every day, you will get your sense of taste back.
What's weird about it, especially when I first start biting into food, it's almost like, because I did have it for a couple of days, something goes on with my nose, and it wants to give me my taste, but I can almost...
It's revving up, maybe.
Like
it's trying to trigger, but it's not.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, do I taste something? No. It's kind of it's like a sneeze that never comes out of your nose.
It's not satisfying. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Fascinating stuff. Well, we learned a few things. Jbird doesn't have his taste buds back, and doggy ice cream's not actually that bad.
Yeah, I would eat that in a pinch.
There you go. All right. Sounds good. Have you started doing something that has radically changed your life? Found something that was so fantastic, going, wow, life is so much better now.
Yeah.
What is it that has massively improved your life, Jbird?
There's foods, obviously, that I love, but I got into playing piano, and it's a great little thing for me during the daytime or at night to kind of just get away, because I'm learning it, so it really takes a lot of mind power, and if you're having any kind of anxieties or any kind of depression, it's just a nice distraction. I really highly recommend anybody to do that. I always try to encourage people to learn and play an instrument because it does help with those things.
One of the top answers I saw, people were saying bidet.
Oh, yeah. Denny's bidet.
I would have put that up there, too.
All of Denny's neighbors have been trying to come over and poop on it, and he had to turn a few of them away.
That's rough, man. That's rough. They're a very close neighborhood, though.
Yeah.
Would you let your neighbor come and poop?
I would.
Yeah.
Somebody else said cutting out toxic friends.
That's a big one.
Yeah, it is. No doubt. Your life's going to be a lot better.
Well, sometimes you can have someone toxic in your life and not realize it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Virginia. I'm just-
Well, you're stuck with me, so sorry, not sorry.
we got a contract. You're stuck.
Literally.
What did you recently discover that massively improved your quality of living? One person had put on our KVJ Show Facebook page, permanently placed my phone on Do Not Disturb, allow calls from contacts.
Interesting. So only people that you have in your phone can call your phone.
I guess so.
I like it.
That is kind of smart, yeah. I just don't answer hardly anything.
Yeah, I don't spend a lot of time with my phone like I used to. I try to put it away because you become a slave to it.
Yeah.
Panda turned me on to something that I never really had done before, but eBay. Selling stuff on eBay, especially if you've got a bunch of stuff that's decent stuff, but you don't use it, like shoes or like clothes, jewelry. You can sell things on eBay and actually make pretty decent money.
You can make great money because you have people like me who are on eBay all the time. You go there for specific items that you can't get anywhere. So a lot of the stuff I'm looking for, I'll pay money because you can't get it. It's also a lot of fun.
It frees up, for me, it frees up my closet too, because I've got stuff that I know I'm never going to wear. I'm never going to wear these shoes, but they were kind of expensive. Bam. Get rid of them. Get the money.
It's a little game too because people are bidding. It's fun.
It is fun. I totally love selling stuff on eBay.
Some of the other things people are saying have massively improved their quality of living. Independent blankets for my wife and I in bed. Incredible how much better you sleep when there's no waking up with blankets pulled half off or using the one that's too heavy or too light.
That's a good one.
That's a great one.
Somebody else said buying a wardrobe of good quality, properly fitting clothing that I actually like. Okay, it's good to feel good in your clothes.
Gosh, man, they're right. I lead the league in mediocre at best T-shirts right now. Some of them, my guts against the clothing. You can really see my fupa. Some are so big it makes me look frumpy. You got to get the right kind of style.
Tailoring is important.
Yeah, but you really want to tailor crappy shirts? Now you're just wasting time and money.
Someone said buying a good knife for cooking.
Yeah.
Okay,
I agree with that.
interesting. Somebody else had said that running on the beach before work, Christine, on our Facebook page, has massively improved her life.
I can see that because that's a twofold thing right there. You're running, you're getting exercise, but also too, you're at the beach. It's a spiritual thing, probably.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody, let me see. We got Shannon who said quality pillows massively changed my life. Okay, there's a lot of interesting stuff on there. Maybe you can pick up something good. You can just go to the KVJ Show Facebook page and leave us your answer, or just go in there and get some great ideas. The show podcast going to be coming up live on YouTube here in just about 10 minutes. Before we get to that, Jbird, if you would wrap us up here with your thought for the day.
Care about what other people think, and you'll always be their prisoner.
True. Oh, Bird, yeah.
The KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.